everyone, I'm Allie, and for my popular fiction, I have chosen a movie, and it is The Avengers. And I know that this seems almost like a cop out considering Endgame and how popular the Marvel Cinematic Universe is right now, but this is genuinely my favorite movie, so I couldn't not talk about it. So, this movie came out on May 4th in 2012. Its director was Joss Whedon, and it has all these amazing actors: Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Mark Ruffalo, Samuel L. Jackson, to Jeremy Renner, Tom Hiddleston. So this, yeah, part of why it's popular. Very popular actors making a popular movie more popular. So this movie had made, opening over $200 million just domestically. That's not considering worldwide, and even now, still grossing sales, things like that, especially with, Endgame coming out. A lot of people are going back and, watching them. This is up to about $1.5 billion. So there's that. It's had like 38 Oscar wins. It's just really good. So how I encountered this, so the first Iron Man movie came out on my birthday, May 2nd, but that was in 2008. And ever since then, I have been kind of obsessed with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And for this first Avengers movie that came out on March 4th, so my brother actually bought tickets for my birthday to go see the movie. And ever since then, it has been a thing for my brother to get my birthday present as a ticket to go see, Marvel. And it's not just this one. Ultron came out, Civil War came out, Endgame came out, Infinity Wars came out, all within like a week of my birthday. So that's kind of how I encountered this, and I absolutely love it. It just means a lot. I think that it's just great. So, so my reactions to it, I think that just this sense of, togetherness, like these characters come in and it's not what you expect. Like, even though they're all heroic and they have their qualities, like, they don't get along, and, even Banner, who's supposed to be kind of this chilled out, scientist guy, and then Chris Evans, who's Captain America, is supposed to be this righteous, heroic character, and none of them can get along. It doesn't matter. They can't get on, and I think that's just great how they overcome that and manage to save the world. And then they create this friendship as well, as you see in the later movies, and I just think that's amazing. I like having that, superhero idea being like a whole mess. Like, they're not perfect, and I think that's great. I also love the final, like, build up with the final battle. That's my absolute favorite part, when, Banner finally shows up and he gets to be Hulk, and then they have that whole cinematic thing, and, it spins in the circle and you see each of the characters getting ready to fight. And then when they have that montage of each of them fighting, and, Captain, Thor finally, like, they kind of team up and they use the hammer and the shield, and you just, I don't know, and then, like, the Hulk and Thor on top of the Jatari fish thing. I don't know, I just think it's really cool how, everybody kind of works together for that, and that I genuinely get, like, excited when I get to that part. Even now, and I've seen this movie so many times, and I think that this is just the movie that kind of kick-started it all. Like, we already had all the Iron Man movies, and we had Thor, and people were starting to love it, but I think they did such an amazing job with this, and that kept the Marvel Cinematic Universe going with the Avengers and everything. So, how it fits into our class. So, this is mostly like action adventure. That's how a lot of people classify it. But it is science fiction. So, tons of tech, tons of science. Each of the characters, technology, science. You have, obviously, Iron Man. That's all he is. He had his problems. He built a suit. Banner, he tried to use the same serum as Captain America. That's all science-based. They wouldn't be who they are without that, Thor's a god, so that doesn't really count, but he can use weapons that, earthbound, things like that. And so science fiction is supposed to be based off of there's an issue, so we try new things to, cure it. So in this Avengers movie, they have the Tesseract, and that's kind of what kickstarts it all, how Loki gets through the portal. So they were trying to use science and technology they didn't understand to solve this problem that there's more than just Earth out there. There's, this mess of aliens in space, and they can suddenly come to Earth, and suddenly Earth is interesting, and, prepare for that. And because Earth was preparing for it, it attracted more attention. Loki has his own issues with Earth. But Thor made that comment. He said, because that you're stronger, other places will understand that and see that, and you're kind of making yourself more vulnerable that way. So I think that, that clearly sits in with the science fiction. But what I really like is that even though they have all this technology and things like that at their potential, they still rely on the humans. You know, it comes down to them. They have the nuke possibility to, completely set off a nuke in New York, but instead, Fury's like, I believe in these guys, they can do it, and then Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, just sends it off into space, which is fantastic. But I think that that's what's really interesting, because he decided to rely on these humans, these people, and then at the same time you think about it, these people are all based off of or built from these scientific discoveries. So you wouldn't even have them without the technology and the know-how that they had to go through. So I think that it really covers a lot of what science fiction means, and it's just great. So that is my popular fiction. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, bye.